Good morning. Hope everybody's well. I am Salome. I will be taking you through server systems administration practical class alongside with Mr. Amos Nwasima, who will be taking us through the theory class. So once in a while, I'll be joining your theory class online. We had connected until I got interrupted, but this is a better way of catching up again so that we can finish what we had started. When class started, I had asked if any of us had an idea about virtualization, and one of us actually gave us a very perfect answer. Virtualization is a technology that enables creation of virtual environment from a single physical machine, allowing more efficient use of resources. What does this mean? Each time the need for installing, testing something comes up, you don't have to buy extra hardware. You only need to virtualize, create a virtual machine and start what you want to do. So there are a number of softwares that can be used to create virtual machines, and these are categorized into type 1 and type 2. Type 1 works for servers, big servers and data centers. Here you have a hardware, get a hypervisor, and put your guest operating system. So examples of these are, this is what they actually call bare metal. Get your server hardware, put a hypervisor. So this hypervisor, there are softwares that can be used to create virtual machines on a single physical machine. So examples of these are VMware ESXi, Microsoft Hyper-V is one of them. Like I said, this type 1 works for servers, big servers and data centers. Now we have type 2, where you have a hardware, you have an operating system, and you get a hypervisor. So this is the practical way we do it on our PCs. Everybody has a PC, you have an operating system running, and on top of your operating system, you're putting a hypervisor. So there are the different softwares that can be used to virtualize. Some of these are VirtualBox, VirtualPC, VMware. There are very many softwares that can be used. So in your free time, please find out what are those other softwares that can be used to virtualize. For purposes of this class, we shall be using VirtualBox. I had requested that each one of us downloads VirtualBox and Microsoft Server 2025 Server Evaluation Standard Evaluation Edition. So earlier, each one of us had installed VirtualBox. So on top of that VirtualBox, we are going to mount our operating system and get started. So each time this is when you open VirtualBox, this is how the window looks like. We are going to click new to be able to create a new environment. So with that, under new, this is what we have. I'm required to put a name of my virtual machine. I'll call it BHC2, and then I will also select the location of where my virtual machine is. So this is it. You see when you hover, we have this other option, hover. When you hover on top, when checked, the unattended installation is disabled. It's disabled, meaning that we don't want to use the wizard. That wizard does not allow you to that wizard just doesn't allow you to interact with your machine, with your installation. We want to interact with the installation. We want to be in charge and do a number of things. With that said, we've checked, so we don't want to use the wizard. We are going to, I have hardware here. I have hardware. I have, I actually, under hardware, I have memory, I have CPU, but that's not enough. I also have the hard disk. With this that is given to me, I have no objection. Under the RAM, I have 2 GB out of my 16 that will be allocated. I have one CPU that's going to be allocated to this installation. I also have 50 GB that's going to be allocated to this installation. So we are starting and I'll click finish. So for those that clicked, if you don't click, if you don't click skip, this part is enabled, meaning that it will do everything for you until the end. We don't want to go that way. We want to interact with our installation. So we clicked skip unattended installation. We want to attend to our installation. Click finish. So if you noticed something, our virtual machine has been created and it's up here. We are going to click on it and click start so that the operating system can be mounted and the installation goes on. That's our VM is powering on. We shall patiently wait for it to start. And this is it. It is starting. For those that have done these installations before, the files are loading. It's not rocket science. Files are loading. We shall wait for them to load. And then when it loads, we shall get into the language settings. But for those that may have challenges with this step and you're getting an error, restart your VM. Restart your VM, restart the PC, and be able to get started. And then the other challenge is if your machine by default has virtualization disabled through the BIOS, you have to enable BIOS. You have to go through the BIOS and enable virtualization. So those are the two things to watch out for. If you can't go past that step where the image is loaded and you have an error already, you have to do those two things. Either one, take note of the error. We all have internet, we can Google. Actually, the error itself may be clear that turn on virtualization. So you'll just have to shut down your PC, reboot, get into your BIOS and enable virtualization. For others, just close, delete the VM if you had earlier created, create again, restart the VM, restart your VirtualBox and start. Language settings, I'll go with the defaults that has been given to me, same to the keyboard settings. With this option, I actually want to install, and they are telling me that everything will be deleted, including files, apps, and settings. I'll click next as I wait for the next part to come up. With this, I hope you can all see, I'm being required to select an image. The image I'm supposed to select, we have Windows Server, Standard Edition, Standard Evaluation. I have Standard Evaluation, Desktop Experience, Data Center Evaluation. I have Data Center Evaluation, Desktop Experience. All these things give you something different. If you noticed wherever you put your cursor, something else changes. Put a cursor, something else changes. Put a cursor, more information is given. But for data center evaluation and data center evaluation standard evaluation, desktop experience, and data center, desktop experience, they nearly give the same information. The difference is standard evaluation, desktop experience restricts you to only two VMs. Yet we are we are learning and we may actually go over two. So we shall select data center evaluation desktop experience. We shall click next and see what happens. Next, I have to agree to the license terms. I will, of course, say I'll accept and then wait for what comes next. It's searching for my disks. I have 50 GB, yes, that I selected. I'll say yes. And we'll wait for what happens after. So ready to install. This is us. We shall wait for this installation to continue. So let me pass on this. If you have if you have Linux, you have a MacBook, there is a provision for you as well. Look out for VirtualBox. VirtualBox. There is a Linux supported version. There is a MacBook supported version. Look out for them, install them, and get started. We don't expect excuses that I have this operating system and you only talked about Windows. If you have a Linux machine, you can install VirtualBox. And on top of VirtualBox, you can start with what you're doing. Same applies to the person that has got a MacBook. This is us. We shall patiently wait this is very examinable. Um, Someone may be wondering, why are we going through this? It's very examinable. We want you to get a feel of the Windows Server installation. We are also headed for internship and we do not know what it's coming ahead. You may be asked, you may be introduced to this. It may be virtualizing, but you're virtualizing Linux machines. So this should not be new. It shouldn't be new. So that is why we're doing this. We are now at 44%, patiently waiting for the installation to finish. We shall not rush it. %, still waiting for the installation. So let me pass this as well. We all know the minimum requirement. By now, we know the minimum requirements for a Windows Server installation. If you don't meet the minimum requirements during the installation, the PC will slow down, the PC will hang, and it may continue the hanging into when you're doing what you set up the virtual environment for. We don't want to have hiccups along the way, bottlenecks as we are installing and working with other things, and then you remember I didn't meet the minimum requirements. That is why we try to give the PC enough space and its required environment. %54 and still waiting. So 77% and still waiting. So with this, we're about to finish our installation. I'll remove my disk from the virtual drive. So here we are, waiting for the installation to come through. 62%, not very far away from finish. Oh, we shall still wait. Like I said, we cannot rush this. We were actually prepped that the machine, the PC will restart a number of times. I hope you've witnessed that. It may restart twice, thrice. So here we are, close to finishing. 94%. Thank you for being this patient. Please keep your PC on. Your computer may restart a few times. We're putting a password. Put a password that you'll be able to use. A password that you'll be able to remember. That's what I've put. Put one that you desire. We shall click finish. And then next is that they are taking us, we expect to be logged in. So this may take a few minutes, but we shall still wait. Applying computer settings. And here we are. Thank you very much for being patient. How do we log in? You click input through keyboard. Then we select Control Alt Delete. Here, it's going to bring us a password field. So we are going to put the password that we had put. So then this is it. After putting the password, wait a moment. I expect to, wait, what's wrong with my password? Here we are. It's loading the profile and we've finished. Congratulations. Thank you. See you.